All right, everybody, what's up? This is gonna be a diagnose and repair for this 2006 Altima. I was driving it around, and you know how your muffler is supposed to be quiet unless you put performance muffler on it. So it's supposed to be quiet, right? So driving this car around, I hear sounds like a muffler with a hole in it. But when you stop rolling and you mash the gas, it's not coinciding with the gas. So all that tells you is that when you're rolling, it just gets louder and just like that. So that's just a classic bearing. All right. So the axle bearing, and in this case, the hub for the wheel in the rear is bad. And I'll show you what that sounds like with the wheels off and up in the air on the jacks. All right, I had the wheels off on both sides because I'm going to replace the shocks as well. But what you can see, and you have to take off the pads and everything so you don't hear the rubbing of the pads. But all right, check this out when you spin it. You hear that, just that hum, or that, I don't know how to describe it, but all right. So we go to the other side. It's just different. All you hear is just the metal of it, rubbing here. So that's more like a scraping noise. This one here is more like you hear that? So this is the bad one. All right, once you've safely jacked the car up, put it on jack stands, you're gonna have to remove the brake caliper. So that's gonna be these 19mm bolts at the rear. You should know how to, well, not saying you should know how to do that, but anyway, it's back here. You have to take the caliper off the bracket. If your car has a lot of miles on it like mine, this one is going to be, the disc here is going to be hard to get off. But this has a slide off. So you can either, and I've run into this a lot every time I try to do this on every car I've used. This hammer, you can try to knock around here. Don't hit the studs, but hit here on the flat surface. Sometimes I gently tap there. I wouldn't recommend it, but I do it. Here, you can hit here, around here, and just kind of work your way around till it comes loose. I never have any luck with that little soft hammer. So I have to use the BFH, the big freaking hammer. And I don't swing on it. I just kind of let it hang here, but just the weight of it, just hit around. The weight, you just hit around, boom, slowly, and it'll come loose. Just take your time, work around it. I used a little rust-free, boom, spray it right there, because it gets rusted right here. So anyway, it's off, and so you should be able to just slide it off. I can't do it with one hand, so get back with you. All right, so this is what you're looking at once you get the cover off. This is the new one. See, it's a unit, has the studs already on it. If you can, I don't know if you can hear this, but making a lot of noise, and it doesn't turn smooth. You can feel it getting stuck. Okay, this is the new one. I can't hold it and turn it, but let me see. No, I can't hold it and turn it. But anyway, it's smoother, and it's all one unit. That's the new one. And to take this off, you're going to, hold on, I'll have to get behind it and show you. All right, as you can see, the bolts are out. The angles are weird. You gotta have fun with it, but they'll come out easily. Came out, okay? There they are right there. All right, this little setup took me a minute because my slide hammer, I have my slide hammer and everything, that worked, but it came with an adapter more fitting a pulley and not the hub, so the lugs wouldn't go inside of the holes on the adapter that I had. So I had to go rent this part and then take my slide apart and then put it through. So anyway, to get the hub off, because it's all one piece, you know, this all comes out together, so it's not separate. This part right here may look like it, but it all comes out from here, from that little lip right there. You have to get it off of that. So just hope that comes out right. Hold on. You have to get it. You have to get it off of this part right here. So anyway, it needs to come out of there. Ta-da! See how it came out? And then it should just lift out of there. All right, it's out. See? That's what it looks like. It just lips out. It's wider here than it is up there, so it's only one way for it to go back in. All right, I have the new hub in. The bolts are hand screwed as tight as I can get it with my fingers, okay? I didn't want to strip anything. I put them all in. You kind of have to, because there's a little lip that has to be pushed onto the receptacle. That's the only thing I know how to call it. Anyway, it looks like this and it goes on. You know, I showed it to you. So in order to get that onto the knuckle, you know, some of it's gonna have to, I don't want to pull it. I didn't want to pull it with the torque specs. You know, we kind of throw them off. When I torque it down with the wrench, I didn't want it to pull itself out. So I aligned them. You know, I kind of had it loose, and I was holding it with one hand, and I was hand tightening it with my fingers through each hole just to get them flush. So now that it's in there, it's not moving. So now I will slowly, like I'm putting the wheel on, put this torque spec here, then that one, that one, that one. I believe the torque specs are 70. I'm gonna check it real quick, but I'm gonna use my torque wrench because it's very important to use the torque specs to torque it down from the back. All right, now it's all torqued down. 60 foot-pounds. Gotta be safe, right? All right, now just gotta put the rotor back on. Okay. Put the caliper on and we back rolling.